Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek. You'll hear from players, coaches, broadcasters, and writers that cover the NFL on a daily basis. The New Orleans Saints podcast starts right now. Here's your host, Erin Summers.
Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast. Erin Summers here. The second week of OTAs are underway. The second day this week of practice was Thursday. It included media availability, so we were able to watch and talk to head coach Kell Moore along with some players. Things are continuing to progress through this teaching phase, especially when you look at the offensive and defensive line. It's a lot of individual work on the fundamentals and technique so that the linemen will be assignment sound, know what they need to be doing when the pads actually come on. With the linemen working with their position group a lot, the group work during practice is mainly 7-on-7. Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough are still sharing first team reps, and it was another solid outing for both. Shough hit 2 deep balls, both over 50 yards, one to wide receiver Bub Means and the other to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Means went down the left side, Jones was down the right sideline, and Means definitely took his to the house.
Oh yeah, that was a great throw. I knew, we just had to execute. That's something that I feel like we're going to make a lot of plays just like that next season.
While Shough had 2 big highlights, he did throw an interception to cornerback Rajon Wright, which caused Alante Taylor to run on the field after him to celebrate. Taylor is embracing the versatility of his role in the cornerback room, especially under Brandon Staley, this defense. They're going to use him in a lot of different ways. He is one of the leaders on the defense and someone who will continue to play inside and out.
He will definitely provide a lot of flexibility for us, and I think that's one thing that, from a defense perspective, we've emphasized these guys being able to line up in multiple ways. Alante is one of the primary guys about that. His ability to play the star position, which is really the nickel position, as most people learn it, and the outside corner position. So he's going to be able to do both, and that's going to be able to allow us to play some matchup football when we need to play matchup football. And I think he does a really good job. He's good against the run. He's a really, really good blitzer. I think that's shown up, and so he's got a lot of tools.
I think it's going pretty well. I'm kind of picking up on it pretty fast. I've watched a lot of tape, a lot of film. I've spent a lot of hours just kind of in the lab is what Staley would call it. But I think I'm doing pretty good.
Coach Moore said that your versatility, your ability to adapt, the speed that you have is going to be really helpful for this defense. How do you see your role?
I think my role is going to be pretty crucial. I think I'm going to help the defense out in many ways. I kind of get the feeling that I had going into my senior year at Tennessee when we had Coach Banks comes in and Coach Martinez comes in with the freedom that I have to kind of move around and just kind of play my game, and I kind of feel like a robot out there. So super excited about it.
There were no additional injuries to report this week. Tight ends Dallin Holker and Foster Moreau and quarterback Jake Haener were all in attendance but didn't fully participate. Taysom Hill remains out and has not been at practices. Defensive end Chase Young was at practice today after not attending last week. I didn't see Tyrann Mathieu, Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, J.T. Gray, Brian Brzee, Devon Godshaw, or Nathan Shepard today. The team will practice again tomorrow for their 3rd practice of the week since they went paintballing yesterday instead.
Heat was pretty good. Trying to think who, Bink had some good moments. He tended to get out fast. We had a bunch of guys, but it was fun. So.
Yeah, man, that was my first time ever doing it. Country boy from Tennessee, you would have thought I'd done it a couple times, but that was my first time. It was super exciting. Nobody had faith in my team, but we went out there and we won it all. So, the champs is here, but it was super fun, man. I know we have another. We gonna talk about. But next week, we got another community service event to do. So I'm super excited about the community service things that, Coach Moore and the staff and organizations putting in for us to kind of go out there and just help the community, but also build that team camaraderie.
While Taylor claimed the win, and I do think that they won, Justin Reed just didn't agree.
Yeah, Silver team cheated.
I heard they won, yeah.
No, they cheated. But it was a lot of fun. I didn't get shot too many times. Yeah.
Who was the best person out there?
Riley, our strength coach, Riley was pretty good. Ugo Amadi, he was pretty good. He was a Swiss Army knife for us. Yeah.
As we continue to get to know the team under Coach Moore, it's been fun to see the players enjoying the time together. Reed said it was something that he noticed right away?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's culture over everything. Culture and the culture that's built here. And Coach Kellen, they just won the Super Bowl last year with Philly. He brought his strength staff over, and a lot of those guys are familiar with winning. We have a lot of guys here who are familiar with winning. But the great thing, because I've been on mediocre teams, I've been on bad teams, I've been on great teams. And the culture in this locker room is right now. Like, we got guys that believe in the system, that buy in. We don't have bad character guys. And that's the first step that you need in order to build a real team to go out and win.
Was that one of the first things that you picked up on? Was that culture?
Yeah, you can feel it immediately. And like day one of OTAs, the way that they ran it like a college program with the amount of conditioning and the attention to detail, but I kind of like things that way. It feels more true to the sport.
For today's guest, I caught up with new tight end coach Chase Haslett. He grew up running around the facility when his dad, Jim Haslett, coached the Saints from 2000 to 2005. Chase, thanks for joining me on the New Orleans Saints podcast. It's really good to have you and your ties here with the Saints, coaching and taking on the tight ends room. How are you doing? How are things going now that you're settling in?
Everything's good. Finally got my family down here, so that was a nice sigh of relief. Getting my family down here, and now I can truly focus on football and making sure the guys are ready to go. So it's been going good.
With your father being a coach here before, what was your earliest memory of the Saints growing up?
You know what? I've been asked that question a few times, and it's definitely running out on the field and, having my dad chase me around, throwing the footballs around, playing with the equipment, coming to practice. And so anytime I see Kellen's kids out there, it's, brings me back to those memories. Definitely pretty cool.
What about you? You have kids. They're going to be out there anytime soon?
This is my oldest son's favorite place to come to. Dad has work, so we try to come here on the weekends and let him run around, hit the bags, and do all that fun stuff. So,
growing up, obviously, in a football family, your father played, then you went on to play quarterback. When did you decide that you had the coaching itch?
It's all I've ever been around.
Yeah.
It's all I've known, and there's nothing better than helping guys achieve their goals and achieve their dreams, and that's why I'm in this profession, is because I got to witness it my entire life, and definitely what I aspire to be, a great coach.
What pulled you to the tight end room into that role?
It's I love the tight end play in general, just because it incorporates the run game, the pass game, protection. It's everything, and so being able to tie into the offensive line play, receiver play. It's pretty cool, and that's really what taught me, drove me to be in the tight end room. So it's good stuff.
How have you enjoyed working with the tight ends that are here?
Great group of guys. They're, love being around them. They make it fun. The room's fun. It's energetic. Try to make it light in there. Good group.
Have a couple that aren't able to participate right now because of injuries, but Dolan Holker and Foster Morrow are out there doing some drills where they can. You're going to have a lot of players in that room that you're going to have to work with. What are some of the things that you like in your tight end?
Yeah, so one of the things I always tell the guys is we try to attack their deficiencies and perfect their redeeming qualities. And so having Foster out there, I know he's hurt right now, but we look forward to having him back out there full time. And so doing what I can right now to attack his deficiencies and, working on some of the ball drills aspect of it. So he's not skipping a beat when he gets back out there. But obviously all those guys have little intricacies to their game that we like to take advantage of. And so not making sure those guys aren't put in a bad spot, but always looking to attack those deficiencies is what we strive for. So.
It's always funny when I talk to Jawan Johnson, he, changed from a receiver to a tight end, and he says that it's tough blocking. That's something he's still getting used to. And I look at him out there and I'm like, you look like such a big guy. It doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but I mean, it's definitely a different part of the game that you have to learn. How do you kind of perfect that area for them? Yeah.
Obviously Jawan going from receiver room to tight end play. The biggest thing I look for is he a willing blocker? And so that's something that I saw in film, is that he's willing to stick his face in there. And so now really working on hand placement, footwork, the first two steps, getting him on track from that point. Because once we can tie in the footwork and the hand placement and the strike, and, he's a willing blocker, so that's all part of it. But, just the footwork and the hand placement is something that we're really working on right now.
I always like to watch the new coaches because they usually bring different things to the practices and training camp that we haven't seen before. And today I noticed Jawan was wearing goggles. So what was the deal with that?
Yeah, one of my big things in my room is I want the guys to be themselves. You can see it in my room right now. It says "Be yourself," and so Jawan, he loves his goggles. And that's something that I've never used in the past, but it's something that's helped him in the past, and I guess it's a blinking mechanism within the goggles. It's been around for a while that helps, makes you focus on the football when it's in the air, and it's something that's helped him. So I'm all for it. If it helps him, it helps me. So.
Yeah, how big of a part of the game is that going to be for the tight ends in this new offense?
Yeah, making sure we're not putting the guys in a bad spot. That's first and foremost. We're not going to ask the guys to do something that they're, is not helpful to the team. And so a guy like Jawan, who his, biggest asset right now is in the pass game. So we're gonna try to match him up and take advantage of the defensive looks and obviously keep working on his deficiencies in the run game, and so he can go out there and keep being successful.
Okay, now I'm probably going to butcher this name. I've practiced it so many times, but
I call him Mo. I just call him Mo. That's a lot easier.
Tell me about him. What have you noticed so far?
Yeah, no, he's coming along well. Obviously, you can see his size, 6'6", 260. We just gotta, and he can move really well. Got to get him to come off the ball a little better, anticipate the snap count, continue to work on some of the run game fundamentals. It'd be nice when the pads come on to see what he can really do. But he does bring some intricacies to the offense that we necessarily don't have in that room, which is nice to have.
For you being able to come here and be reunited with Kell Moore, how good is that for you, kind of taking on an elevated role, the first time leading the tight end room and being able to do it with somebody you have a lot of familiarity with? Yeah,
Kellen's awesome. I mean, being around him for now, I've known him for 6 years now. He's a great coach, great leader, great person. A guy I would go anywhere with. Definitely love working with him. And him and I see the game in a similar facet in terms of the creativity and the finding ways to exploit defenses. But just the creativity part of it alone is a lot of fun. He sees the game in a lens that is different and unique, and that's something that I see as well. So it's cool stuff.
How many former quarterbacks are on the offensive staff? Because it's you, Kellen,
Tolzien,
the quarterback coach,
Nussmeier,
right?
There's a few.
That seems like a lot.
There's a few.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of it. I mean, those guys are all great coaches and great people, and so there's a reason why Kellen brought them on staff is because they're great coaches and even better people. So it's fun working with all those guys.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to as the OTAs continue to progress, and then you'll have a little break, but once training camp really gets going?
Yeah, just taking it one day at a time. Right now, obviously trying to continue to focus on the fine details in both the run game, pass game, protection, and making sure the guys know exactly what their goals are and the vision of how I intend to use them in the offense, and we intend to use them in the offense is something that I want to make sure that they are tuned into. But just continue to work on the small details right now, and then when we get to training camp, I want those guys to feel good and ready to go, that they can go out there and kick butt.
Did you ever think that you would come here and be a coach?
That's a great question. I did not think, my first position coaching job in the National Football League would be with the Saints, but it's a really cool, surreal moment for me, definitely being back here and seeing everything around this facility and in this city. I love the city, I really do. The people, the food, everything about this place is great and fantastic.
What did your dad tell you about coaching here with the Saints, or just the culture of the organization?
He's preaching right now, just this is your time. I'm not going to reminisce on my time back there with the Saints, and this is your time to shine and go do your thing and have fun doing it. And obviously I look forward to when he comes around here to practices and whatnot, but definitely he's a guy that, my entire life obviously he's my father, but, relying on him for a lot of answers and, all the questions I ask him. So it's definitely my top mentor. So.
Yeah, when I talk to players who are from the area, they always talk about being able to run out to the field of the Superdome for the first time they grew up Saints fans and what that moment will be like. I don't know if it has the same effect for a coach, but walking on the field, the sideline, knowing that that's your home stadium, what will that moment mean? Just
the atmosphere alone is exciting here. It's a super loud stadium. The fans are very passionate about their team, and as they should be. This is a great city and a great football town. So I definitely look forward to walking out there and knowing that I'm giving everything I got to the city and to making sure that we can win on a weekly basis. So look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the time and getting to know you a little bit better. And we look forward to when this thing gets started. For more OTA coverage, highlights, and photos, stay tuned to NewOrleansSaints.com. It's all there, or you can follow our social media channels. Next week, we'll break down the last set of OTAs before mandatory minicamp, June 10th through 12th.
Thanks for listening to the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek. Join us 3 times per week on NewOrleansSaints.com, the Saints mobile app, or you can download the podcast on iTunes. We'll see you next time, right here on the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek.